Hi everyone, it's a lovely day here in the west of Ireland, and I've been looking online at the petition. I put a petition up 5 days ago, and it was to do with the EU, because the EU are bringing in a law in the next week or so to do with heritage seeds, and they're basically just going to ban them. Well, they're going to try to ban them, aren't they? Because the petition says we will not comply. So it's topped 3,000, and that's just in 5 days. So there is a huge groundswell of feeling and opinion and anger out there about this very corrupt law. It's not unjust, it's corrupt, because there's definitely an agenda going on. Now, I don't really want to concentrate on the EU agenda at this point, because I'm doing a little bit of reading and research at the moment, and I will put a video up on what I feel and what I think and what I've been led to believe is the EU agenda. So, getting back to today in Bealtaine Cottage, I'm just pointing the camera down here at one of the 900 trees. If you look, you can, I was going to say you could see, but actually you can't see, because one of the things about planting trees is it soon becomes very dense. But I'm looking at this tree here with the white blossom. That's actually a damson tree. And I'll just walk down the steps here. The damson tree now is in full blossom, and there's lots and lots of bees around. So I'm looking for a really good harvest of damsons this year. I give it a good pruning there during the winter. And this tree here, this is one of the trees I am particularly proud of, okay? Look at the size of this cherry tree. Now this is actually a cherry, it's actually a fruit tree, you know, it's not one of those ornamental blossom trees. And I'm just going to show you. I'm panning down the trunk of the tree, okay? Now, there's something missing here, and that's a graft. That's because this tree has been grown from seed. I grew this from seed 9 years ago, and look at the size of it. It must be 20 foot high. Now, the health of this tree is beyond dispute, and especially when it's compared to this other cherry tree, which is older, in that it was bought in a garden centre, and it's actually a grafted tree, okay, and it's not as healthy, and it's about the same height. Now this was quite a big tree when it was bought. I think it cost about 35–40 euro. So there's a lot to be said for growing your own trees from seed, especially when you look in comparison at this healthy specimen here. Now, I'm just going to walk down into the fairy wood, because there's a lot of life, a lot of plants, a lot of inanimate life coming to pass here in the fairy wood. And just to the left is an oak tree. Now, one of my brothers, Hugh O'Neill, he bought that as a small tree. It was about 5 foot high, and he bought that and planted it here for me. Well, we planted it together, and that's to commemorate his very first visit to Bealtaine. And that tree as well is already about 18 to 20 foot high. You may notice that none of the trees in the garden are staked. That's because it actually does make the tree stronger. If you plant them fairly small, don't stake them, let the wind roar up around them, and it does actually make their roots go deeper into the ground. Let me just come down into the fairy wood. all this beautiful lime green covering. It's like a carpet, isn't it? This is spurge. Isn't that beautiful? You can see we've actually descended quite a few feet here. So it's much cooler. There's a different climate going on in here. It's actually a beautiful little spot. It's very peaceful in here, very restful. Now look at that. The celandines out, aren't they beautiful? And more coming up. Whenever I prune any of the trees in here, look, I just drop everything down onto the ground. And that helps to provide food for the forest floor. Now you can see I've planted some dead nettle in here as well. And then there's meadowsweet just coming up through it. It's very still today. It was quite a wind yesterday. This is another tree I've planted in here. This is the mountain ash, or the rowan tree. And look, it's going to have blossom this year. And then berries. You can make this beautiful jelly, rowan apple jelly with the seeds, and gives a lovely sharp taste. It's beautiful, you know, if you have cheese with it or meat. Well, I don't eat cheese or meat, so I would just have it on toast. I'm going to have to sign off now because I have a very slow connection on my internet. It's basically it's basically a box on the roof, and it's going to take about an hour just to load up, you know, a 5-minute video. So I'm going to have to sign off reluctantly, I might say, because I do love to share these beautiful images with you. There's nettles coming up there as well. Beautiful. Primroses, spurge, celandines, elder, ferns, and then this is a beautiful old fairy tree. Bless this fairy tree.